Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar on identification, finding new opportunities. My name is Alexandra Baer, and I'm joined by my colleagues on our client development team, Brett Eaglestein, Katie Fabiani, as well as my colleague on the marketing team, Chelsea Briggs. This presentation will last around 20 minutes, and then it'll be followed by a Q&A session at the end. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to enter them into the chat box, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we can at the end. This webinar is the second of a four-part summer series where we are discussing how to best leverage the core features of the RelSci platform. Today we will do a deep dive into the Power Search tool. Our next webinar will be on August 5th, so please mark your calendars for then. We'll be focusing on the profiles that are within the RelSci database as well as our 360 alerts feature. The Power Search tool allows you to query the RelSci database of over 3.5 million people and 1 million organizations so that you can find individuals or organizations that fit a specific set of criteria in RelSci. You can use Power Search whenever you're trying to create a new target list. It allows you to be able to quickly discover people that you never realized you have access to, whether that is a new partner, new investor, new client, or a new donor. You can discover people who went to your same school, who support a specific cause or candidate, or who have expertise on a specific topic. I'm now going to go into the tool and show you exactly how to use it. So in order to access Power Search, you'll go to the Power Search button right here, and you can click on it. And this is Power Search. So you'll see when you get to Power Search that there are two tabs. There's a People tab and an Organizations tab. Pretty self-explanatory, but the People tab basically allows you to be able to search for people within RelSci, and then the Organizations tab allows you to be able to search for organizations that are profiled in RelSci. I'm going to quickly go through and just show you the different modules in here, and then I'm going to show you some examples of how our current clients actually use Power Search. So the first section under People is Basics, and this basically allows you to be able to type in keywords, a specific name of somebody. You can leverage lists, and I'm going to go into this in more detail at the end, but basically if you have lists that you've created, you can basically search for people that are within a specific list. If you're looking for people that are in a specific location, you can enter the location there. So let's say I'm just looking for people within Boston. I can type that in here and find people that are in that location. The next section is the Career and Board section. And this basically allows you to be able to find people that are in a specific role, at a specific company, or in a particular industry. You can find people that are, let's say, at private companies or at hedge funds or public companies. You can do that type of stuff in the Career and Board section. And then moving further down, Education. Many times you might want to find people that went to your same school. That started one year, graduated another year. And then going on down to the Investment and Public Holding section, you can find people that own public shares or have invested in a specific company or industry. And then moving on down, there's the Advisors and Consultants module, and this allows you to be able to see people that advisors or consultants to a specific company or industry. And then there's Clients. You can see clients of a particular company, person, list, or industry. Donations. So if you're trying to find people that have supported a specific cause or candidate, you can even type in money here as well as dates and find people that fall into that criteria. And if you're looking for people that are part of a specific membership list or organization, you can do that here. And then last section under the People tab is Interest. So many times you'll see in profiles that will tag specific interests that we found through different sources of somebody. So let's say you want to find people that play golf. You can do that here, or people that are from a specific hometown. So let's say you're trying to organize an event and you're doing a golf event and you want to be able to find people that play golf. This is the place to do that. You can also look for people by age here. And then quickly going through the Organizations tab, it's pretty similar, except here there are a couple of different filters, but basically, right here you're finding criteria that will show you a different list of companies. And so if you want to find companies that are within a specific industry or location that appear on a list that are specific company type, so let's say you're only looking for companies that are public, that are within Boston, that's what you would do here within the basic section. And then if you're, let's say, targeting companies that are a specific size or have a specific revenue, you can do that in this section. So you can say, I'm looking for companies who have between 500 to 1,000 employees. Down to investment section, you can find companies that, have invested in, let's say, the airline industry, or that have invested in the automobile industry. And then moving on down, you can show advisors or consultants to a particular company or industry. And then moving on down, clients. So you can show clients of a particular company or industry. And then last one, this one's pretty interesting, but you can find companies that have donated to specific causes. This is really important for our nonprofit clients, for example. That's just a quick overview of all the different criteria that you're able to use within Power Search. And so whenever you're looking for a specific set of people or organizations, this is where you want to go. So now I'm going to run through a couple of examples. We have a nice selection of people today on this call. We have people from the private equity community. We have some people from investment banking. We have some lawyers. We have consultants. We have some people from our corporate clients. So I'm going to run through a couple specific examples that will help you see how other clients of ours are using Power Search, and this might spark some ideas for you. So the first example I'm going to go through is for private equity. And sometimes what we'll see with our private equity clients is that they are looking to bring in a new board member or executive into one of their portfolio companies and looking for people that, let's say, have expertise in the oil and gas industry. And so you want to be able to find people that are in the oil and gas industry, and you want to find people that are current board members at companies. So what we would do here is you would stay on the People tab, and you would go to the Career and Board section and go to All Board Members. So what this is basically doing is this is going to pull up all the people that are tagged as a board member, and their status is that they are currently there. So you could look for people that are prior. You could look for both current and prior. I'm going to leave it at current, and I'm going to look for people that are within oil and gas. So it's a pretty simple search. I'm going to go down here and click Search. And basically what this is doing now is this is looking across the entire RelSci database for individuals who are board members and are at companies that are tagged as oil and gas. So what you'll see here, we have over 5,000 search results. And there are a couple of different lenses that you can basically put on the search results. The first one is basically just a list of everybody that's within RelSci that fits this criteria. So you can go through this list and you can see here are all the people that fit this criteria. Let's say like this person, and you can see what the commonality is here. This person's on the board of Exelon Corporation, board member, chairman. It's oil and gas. Keep going down. You can see Mary Agnes is on the board of National Security Telecommunications Advisory Committee. And so these are basically all the people. And basically what this is showing you on the side here are these are your different paths. And so for those of you who have used RelSci and have used our Pathfinder tool, basically this is showing you how you're connected to the people that show up on this list. And this is basically right now showing you this is the quickest way for you to be able to get to this person. So I'm going to go through the other lenses that you can basically put on this list of people. So I'm right now logged in under my colleague Katie's account. And so I'm basically looking at this through the lens of Katie. But basically she's tagged 5 people within RelSci that she says that she knows. And so you can see right here that there are 5 people that fit the criteria of being a board member at an oil and gas company currently. And so basically Katie knows that within the RelSci database, there are 5 people that she's connected to that she can now go to to see if they'd be interested in joining one of her portfolio companies. And then many of you have created what we call relationship web, where you're basically able to see people that your colleagues have tagged that they know. And that's basically what this tab is doing. And it's showing there are 133 people that my colleagues are able to introduce me to. And so I can see that two of my colleagues, Tom and Neil, are connected to Harold Woodsley McGraw III, who's on the board of Phillips 66. And so basically here I would go to one of my colleagues and ask them if they can make an introduction to Harold. And the last thing is the extended. And so remember that up here you're seeing, so Katie's tagged 337 people that she knows, and those 337 people have access to over 126,000 people within RelSci, and these are what we call the extended relationships. And so going back down to this extended filter right here, this is basically pulling in those people that maybe Katie doesn't directly have access to, maybe a colleague of ours doesn't have access to, but somebody that she knows has some type of connection to people on this list. And so what you're seeing here is, let's say, Samuel J. Palmisano. This is showing how I'm connected. And so you can see he's on the board of ExxonMobil Corporation, which is oil and gas, and I can see here that shortest path is through somebody that Katie's tagged that she knows, Theodore J. Linnesis. And then if I go here, I can quickly go into Pathfinder and see all the different ways that I'm connected to Sam. And then a couple things that you can do with the results here. So you can, of course, sort them. So right now, they automatically sort by rank. And so basically, I'm seeing people that I have the strongest connection to at the top. So you can do it by the number of RelSci relationships as well as by role. So right now, we're just looking at people that are on the board. But if you, let's say, look for different types of roles within this list, you could do that. You could sort that here. Another thing that you can do is you can save this list that you created. And for those of you that are not familiar with our list tool, I'm just going to quickly go up and show it to you. It can be found right here. And lists are just a great way to be able to gather a population of people. You can either upload lists. So let's say you have a CSV list that you extract from your CRM, or if you have just an Excel spreadsheet that is full of your targets and you want to be able to use that within RelSci, you can upload that list and use that across the site. And I'm going to show that to you at the end, kind of how you would use an existing list within PowerSearch, but you can also create new lists of people within PowerSearch. So let's say I want to save this list of people that my colleagues are connected to. I can basically go in here and create a new list. So now I'm basically saying, and now this list is going to be saved in my account, and I can use it whenever I want. And then the last thing that you can do in here is run a report. So let's say I get this list, I really like it, and I want to be able to save it and print it out and bring it to a meeting that I have and be able to say, okay, here are people that we can potentially reach out to that we're only a warm introduction away from. You could click report, and basically when you click report, you can export this as either a PDF or a CSV, and you can pick what types of results you want. So you can only bring back 10, you can get the top 300 results, you can get all of them, and then you can customize it a little bit more from there. And one thing that we will be coming out with soon is a reporting center, and basically what that will allow you to be able to do is anytime you run a report and you want to be able to go back and refresh that report, since we're constantly updating the database, you'll be able to go to that reporting center and do that from there. So that'll be located once that is out. That'll be located in this drop-down right here. So that's one search that is possible if you're looking for board members for one of your portfolio companies. I'm going to show another example now. So let's say you're a corporation and you're trying to develop a new list of individuals at companies that you want to target. And let's say that you are looking at targeting Boston, Massachusetts, and you want to find C-suite and senior management people at companies in Boston that are within the technology industry. So what we do here is we stay on the People tab, and within location, you type in Boston. So I'm going to select Boston as my location. And going down, I'm going to look for people that are C-suite and senior management. So what this is basically doing is looking at across all the people within RelSci. It's going to pull up people that are tagged as being a C-suite executive or within senior management. And then I'm going to type in technology for the industry. And so this is going to pull up people at companies that are tagged as technology in Boston. So I run the search here. And there are over 1,600 people that are in RelSci that are people that are at a senior management or C-level position at technology companies located in Boston. And so now I can go through here, look at my different lenses. I know one person that is in this role. 13 of my colleagues are connected to people. And then there are over 200, almost 300 people that are in my extended network. So again, I can save this as a list. So I could say colleagues, Boston, tech exec, and I can save that. And one thing that I really want to point out here is that whenever you save as a list, you can always go to that list in Pathfinder and immediately run tasks from you to people that are on that list. And that can be really helpful to you if you immediately want to just be able to see how you're connected to people on the list, other than just this one connection right here. And then same thing, just I also wanted to point this out just for our corporate clients that are on the phone. So this is right now, like I'm looking at people that are within a position at technology companies in Boston. If I just wanted to look up companies within Boston, I could do that here and basically find companies that have a presence in Boston. And I mean, right now this is just showing companies that have a presence in Boston, but if I wanted to look for those within a particular industry or those that have a particular keyword in their company description, I can pull up a list of organizations too. I'm going to refresh this, and now I'm going to show you another example. So let's say you are at a hedge fund and you are in fundraising mode, and so you're looking for limited partners. So that's another thing that you can do within Power Search. So let's say I'm looking for limited partners within San Francisco. So I can type in here San Francisco. And then what I would do in this case is go down to company type and select limited partners. And now what this is basically doing is showing me limited partners within San Francisco. So there are over 180 limited partners, individuals that are limited partners in San Francisco. And then I can save this as a list if I want to. I can run this as a report. I can look at all the different ways that I'm connected to people that are on this list and figure out kind of like, how I want to be able to get in front of them. And then one last example that I want to show you, and this one's really common example that we see. I mean, I'm using wealth management as the example of a company that type that might use this, but I could see anybody on the phone using this. And it's basically, let's find people that went to my alma mater. And so let's say my alma mater was Harvard. And I want to be able to find everybody that went to Harvard that is in, let's say, New York City. What I'm going to do now is basically pull a list of people that went to Harvard that are located in New York. And so there are over 2,400 people that fit this criteria. And this is really interesting because basically, you have some type of commonality with this person, with these types of people, and you can see 5 colleagues went to Harvard. These could be really good people for you to reach out to if you're looking to reach out to people that went to your same school. 102 of my colleagues have connections to people that went to Harvard that are in New York, and then over 1,000 people within my extended network. And again, I can sort this, save it, and run a report. So those are the examples that I've gone through today. We'd be more than happy to go over any other examples that you'd like for us to run. So if you have a specific example, feel free to enter it into the chat feature on the right-hand side. At this time, I'm going to pass this over to Chelsea, who is going to ask some questions that have been asked today.
Great, thanks so much. So the first question that we have is, how do you determine how individuals play golf? For example, the interest module that you showed in Power Search, do they tell you, or how are you determining these personal interests?
Sure, it's a great question. So none of the data that's in RelSci is actually generated by a user, and so if we have been able to pick up that someone is interested in golf, it's because that was determined by our research team either from a personal interest piece or we read about it somewhere in the public domain on a bio or a website or something like that. So it did not come from actually the user themselves entering that information.
Great. Okay, so the next question is, can I find every investment professional in my relationships that actually invests in China?
You can find people within your relationships that invest in China if you go into the investments and public holdings. And what you would have to do is you would have to input a list of major Chinese-based companies. That is a workaround solution. As of right now, there's not a way to see, I want to see everyone that holds a company that's invested in China, so you would have to list individual companies.
Great, thanks for that. Let's see. The next question is there a way to use Power Search to better service my clients rather just than an overall business development tool?
Yes, there are multiple ways that you can use Power Search to better enrich your clients. For example, if you are a wealth manager and you have high net worth individuals that run local charities, foundations, organizations along those lines, within the donation section, you can search for a specific cause. Let's say your client runs a cancer research nonprofit. So in the cause section, you type in cancer research, click on search, and then with the relationship lens, you would focus on the people within your relationships, the people that you directly know. So you can go to your clients, hello John, here are 5 people within my network, and here are 20 people within my firm's network that we can introduce you to help with your cause.
Great, and the next question is, if I have a list of target people, can I upload a list that includes their names and have a list in RelSci automatically created using the contacts I personally uploaded?
Yes, I think what you're asking is about our list feature on the right-hand panel. And so if you already have an existing target list, essentially what you can do is upload that existing list on the right-hand panel. And essentially it's the same as uploading relationships. We just need to know the person's name and their company affiliation. If you have an email domain, that's helpful as well to make the match. And so lists don't have to be just generated within the system. They can actually be uploaded externally as well.
And just one thing I'll show just to add on to that, that you can do within Power Search with lists. So let's say I uploaded a list, like Katie was saying, just from my CRM of some of my prospects. So I have a list of company prospects. And let's say this is a massive list of companies that are in here, and I want to be able to find specific people within this list or specific companies that are a specific location. I can do that within here. So I can kind of make the list a little smaller and more targeted if I want to within Power Search, and then save that list for using it throughout the platform. So I just wanted to show you that real quick.
Okay, and one last question. When entering a search for multiple criteria in the same search field, are you able to put in an AND search or an OR search if you're looking to search for multiple roles?
Yes, you are. So basically when you're in the Power Search tool, there are some sentences that kind of guide you whether you're doing an and search or an or search. And so if you're entering criteria for a role such as you want to look for CEOs and or board members, and you type in both of those roles, at the top here of this module, what you're seeing is the type of search you're performing. So this is an or search in this particular module. If I scroll down and open up the donations module, and I want to do something similar, so I want to look for 2 causes at the same time, and we'll say higher education and secondary education, what you'll see here at the top is this is actually an and search. So you can kind of use those phrases there to guide you whether or not you're performing an and or an or search.
Great. So I think that'll wrap up today. If there are any questions that we were unable to answer, we'll definitely follow up with you afterwards and answer those questions. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who joined us today. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, we'll have our next webinar on August 5th and would love for you to join us. And just to wrap this up, definitely whenever you're looking to find a new list of people or organizations that are within RelSci, encourage you to go to PowerSearch, and if you have any questions when you're trying to figure out, the types of criteria that you should use, feel free to reach out to your account team or to our client support team, and we can help you with that. And if you have a list, for example, that you'd like for us to help you upload, we can also do that too. Thanks very much, and hope everyone has a great day.